Welcome back, Doom fans. Lazy Gamer here. As we return for this final episode of the mini-series, I hope you have learned something along the way. This final episode will be more of a tribute to Chubzdoomer, as the script for moving platforms is too big for me to just type. Besides, I can follow it, but I don't think I could ever create it from scratch, so if you want to follow Chubs creating it from scratch, there is a link to that video in the description. I will walk you through it, however, and a copy of my modified script will also be in the description. So let's get started making a 3D floor elevator. So let's make another sector as we do. Let's just make it an elevator to get up here, shall we? Hmm. 96 by 96, is that fine? Yeah, I thought by how Chubbs made his video that you did not that you could not have it close or intersecting with other sectors, but I think I have tested this out and I don't believe that is necessary, at least not with other 3D floors. So we will make a sector like I have and let's see, how many tags have we gotten to so far? 1 to 8. So let's use 9 and 10 then to follow our, so this should be y, doesn't matter, 9. And once again we need a demo sector. This can be whatever size we want it to be. As per usual, we are going to give it 3D floor, tag it to our 9 sector, solid. However, we are going to give it a tag of 10, so our script can refer to it. And I'm going to just, ceiling is to be 128 and 118. That should make us give us a platform this height and this width. Let's just give it a distinct texture, shall we? Just so we can see it. Ignore that switch for now. It will come back to at a later time. Now we have set up our platform. That is exactly the way we set up this and this before we and this. We know this by now, okay? I just went through it one more time. Now I set up the script. It's here. I am quickly going to go through it as I put in numbers. There is a reason for everything. First, Chubs added later a thing which is important. And to do the thing he wanted, he added a TID or an ID for the player, so we can edit it. So this first thing is for that. Because the thing is, when this is not really solid. So if we walk under it, when it moves down, it's going to make this collapse, and it's going to look something like this. And to prevent that, the platform will kill you when if you get under it, which is fitting. It's been done in Doom, so it makes sense. But to kill the player, you need to give it an ID first, so that's why. This is just an arbitrary number. I think he had a reason for it. I'm not gonna change it. This is the number the player will have from this point. Just note this is an enter script. It will start once the player enter the level. I change it to a named script just for fun, instead of 1, as I am wont to do now. Right. And because of that, the lowering of the platform is a bit bigger than the racing platform, but we will go through it. He started a while loop. He is getting, this is him getting, or we getting the floor height for any given time. Our dummy sector tag is 10, so we will put 10 in there. This is X and Y coordinate, we don't need those, so ignore them. And if the lowest floor is, say, 2 or less than, more than 2, it will continue to move down. Remember that it needs to be a 2.0 or point something, or it will not work. I messed that up before when I tested it, but I learned, so there we go. Now we get into an if-else statement, because now we call back to if thing count sector something, if our player is inside this sector, not this sector, so it will be 09 when it's small y. So 9 and actor is on the floor. I assume this will need to be changed if we are at another elevation than 0. But let's stick with that for now. Why are you minimizing? I don't get it. If the player is at ground, in this case 0, and it is within stop. Hang on. Yeah, interior. Yeah, I think that's right. And same here. Then thing destroy. That kills the player instantly. So the platform will still collapse, but we will not be able to see it, and we have to start to level over or load. So there's that. If player is not under it when it lowers, then we simply have a double move ceiling and floor by value, which we have here. So we simply need to change the tags of both to our dummy sector of 10. There's a little delay so it can happen, and a delay for it to lower. It's a bit less than the height of Chub's map, but I decided not to change the delay. Doesn't really matter. It's just how you have to wait before it starts rising again. And we get another while loop here. Get sector floor. Once again, it's our dummy sector of 10 and our highest floor value, which, since the floor is not, it's 128 minus the width, depth, height of the sector. So I think it's 118. Because the dummy sector reverses stuff, so the floor is the ceiling and so on. That still applies here. I do believe it did when I did a test anyway. Now you're big. I'm not sure why. 10, if it's lower than this, it will rise. Dummy sector is 10. For floor and ceiling, it's the same. Remove that. The 10 and 1 is just the speed of how fast it moves and in what increments it moves. It's quite the speed and the increment it has, it's fine. You can change the numbers if you want. Just remember to change them for each, otherwise it's gonna get really hairy. Kill player, move, and that was a horrible and a restart, obviously, after a delay where it stays up. And that was a horrible explanation. Go and watch Chub's make it if you want a complete understanding of it. However, this should now work once we test it. So let's see if it works, shall we? hopefully this is the last time we see our horrible texture work. I will give you a place where it looks better in another video coming up. Yep. It's moving. Yeah, and it's flush with our platform, so that's fine. We can stand on it and go up. And down. However, if we go under it, moving down, we will die horribly. I think that was correct. Let's check that one more time. Yeah, I died, but I... Yeah, it must be. I'm inside that sector and... Yeah, it must be correct. I died anyway. Don't walk under it. Don't walk under it. Is my suggestion, unless it's higher up. Now, before we end this video, I am going to set up something else. I'll be right back. And I'm back. I set up another platform here, and I made another script with few alterations. Of course, I added a few more tag numbers, 11 and 12, to separate it from this one. And I made a moving platform for switch. Instead of it just moving on its own, you can call it by a script. So I did nothing new to this script except changing the tag numbers like I did up here. But instead of having it restart once it has gone down and up one, I instead make the script terminate. So you have to hit the switch each time you want it to go up and down. Obviously, you will probably need a switch downstairs and upstairs to make it run. Or no, maybe we can just make this script execute. I haven't tested this actually, but I think it will work if we have repeatable and when player walk over. So we can just walk. Obviously the ramp would not be there, so we could jump down or something, unless it was way too high. Anyway, this should work. Well, I know this works because I tested it. I haven't tested that, so we will find out. Let's go. I should have probably started at the other end, shouldn't I? Anyway, switch, lower platform, walk on top, go up, and That shouldn't be triggered when I walk this way. However, walking on it this way, lower it, and then we get off. It works. Yeah, it would be... It could be a switch upstairs as well. Of course, this would probably be a closed-in elevator if you wanted to use it that way, with a switch inside. But a walkover line works fine, and of course, if I do that, I will die. So that works. Yeah, I hope I explained this good enough. If I didn't, which I probably did, go and watch Chub's original video on it. I downloaded his map explanation. It had lots of errors, I think. Texture errors and such. I just got it to catch the script, really, which I did. I'm not sure it's compatible with GZDoom Builder. Even though we made it in... Anyway, it's an old video, so... it works the same way though, so the script is exactly as he wrote it. So I hope you got some use out of my rambly 5-part mini series on 3D floors. Feel free to ask questions. And helpful corrections. Be gentle. This has been your host, the Lazy Gamer, logging off. Bye, guys.